Good day everyone, especially to my grade 9 students. How are you today? Welcome back to another math tutorial with Ma'am Shei. Are you ready? We are now on our week 4 and for today's week, we will be talking about solving quadratic equations and rational algebraic equations. Alright, let's all get set and prepare your WHLP, your module, your paper and pen as we are about to begin our interesting lesson for this week. Halina't matuto! The most essential learning competency for today's lesson, first, solve equations transformable to quadratic equations involving the rational algebraic equations. And second is to solve problems involving quadratic equations and rational algebraic equations. So far, what you have learned from our previous lesson are quadratic equations that are in standard form or the ones that can be written in standard form. But what if the quadratic equations involves rational expressions? Can we also use those methods in solving such kind of equations? By the way, what is a rational expression? Correct. It is a quotient of two polynomials. Or simply, it is a fraction whose numerator and denominator are polynomials. 1 over x. So this is a rational expression. Another, we have x minus 2 over 5. We also have x plus 5 over x squared minus 4x plus 4. So these are all the examples of rational expressions. And if quadratic equation involves rational expression, therefore it is called rational equations. These are equations in which variables can be found in the denominators of the rational expressions. 1 over x plus 2 is equal to 2 over x. If you noticed, two rational expressions are separated by an equal sign. So that is rational equation.
Since the quadratic equations this time involves rational expressions, you must recall the concept on finding the least common denominator of rational expressions. Let us begin answering your learning test number 1, page 18 on your module. We are tasked to find the least common denominators of the following expressions. First, we have 1/2 plus 3 over 4. So how are we going to find the LCD or the least common denominators? Take note that in order to find the LCD, we have to find the least common multiples of each number in our denominators. So we have 2 and 4. So the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on and so forth. While 4, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and so on and so forth. So these are the least common multiples of each number. Now, to find the LCD, we have to get or we have to find or identify the least common numbers between their multiples. And that is very good. And that is 4. So therefore, we can say that the LCD is equal to 4. So that is how we get the LCD of our two fractions. Let us have another example. In our given number 2, we have 1 over x plus x over 2. So again, we need to find their least common multiples in order to find the LCD. So the given are, or the denominators are 2 and x. 1 is a number and 1 is a variable. Let us find their common multiples. Multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on and so forth. While the multiples of x are x, x squared, x cubed, x to the fourth, and so on and so forth. If you notice, we will never have a chance to have their common multiples since 1 is a number and 1 is a variable. So in that case, the LCD is 2x, or we just need to multiply that number and that variable. So we have 2x. For our given number 3, the given is 2 over x minus x plus 1 all over 5. So in this case, the denominators are 5 and x. Now let us find their least common multiples. 5 multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on and so forth. X are x, x squared, x cubed, x to the fourth, and so on and so forth. So again, just like in our given number 2, the given are a number and a variable. So in this case, we just need to multiply the 2. So we have 5x. Okay? Given in number 4 is 2 all over x minus 3 plus x over 2. So we have, or the given denominators are 2 and x minus 3. If you notice, 1 is a binomial. So how are we going to find its multiple? So x minus 3 plus x minus 3, or we have x minus 3 quantity squared, and then the next one is x minus 3 quantity cubed, and so on and so forth. While 2, the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on and so forth. Do you think we can have their common multiples? Okay, again, we cannot. Okay, because one is a number. One term is a number, and the other term is a binomial with a variable. Okay? Or algebraic expression. So in this case, just like number 2 and number 3, we just need to multiply them. So the LCD will be equal to 2 times x minus 3. Again, imino-multiply lamang natin. Okay? If we cannot find their common multiples, then we multiply the two denominators. Now in our second part, what about the rational expressions in each equation? What should be the corresponding least common denominator? So the given is 1 over x plus x over 2 is equal to 11 over 6. So this is an example of a rational equation since we already have an equal sign or equal symbol here. So this represents an equation. Okay? Now, the denominators are x, 2, and 6. So how are we going to find the LCD? So again, let us find the least common multiples of these denominators. So we have x, 2, and 6. The multiples of x are x, x squared, x cubed, x to the fourth, and so on and so forth. The multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on and so forth. While the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on and so forth. Now, if you noticed, we have two numbers, 2 and 6. In this case, we can find its common multiples. What are the common multiples of 2 and 6? So, if you noticed, we have 6. Yan, magkapareha sila. Meron din tayong 12. May 12 and 6, meron din 12 and 2. But we are talking about the least common multiples, yung pinakamababa, the least number. So in that case, we have 6. Since in the numbers, we have 6 as the LCM, what about the LCD? which is, meron pa tayong x dito. Okay, so in that case, we can have the LCD of 6x. Since algebraic expression to or variable, we just need to multiply it to the least common multiples of the two numbers. Okay, so the LCD between x2 and 6 is 6x. In our number 2, we have 2 over x minus x plus 1. All over 5 is equal to 4 over 5. So again, this is an example of a rational equation. Now, the denominators are x, 5, and 5. So if you notice, yung numbers natin ay iisa lamang. So alam na agad natin kung ano yung kung ano yung LCM niya. Or we don't have to put naman the LCM in our solution. If you already know the LCD between x5 and 5, then you can proceed in writing the LCD. But here, I will show you how to find the LCM first. So, x, 5, and 5. So, same number lang naman yung 5. So, we have x squared, x cubed, x to the 4th, and so on and so forth. Well, 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so on and so forth. So, in this case, isang algebraic expression or isang variable at isang number. So, in this case, the LCD is equal to 5x. Okay, so in our given number 3, we have 2 over x minus 3 plus x over 2 is equal to negative 1 over 2. So the LCD are 2, 2, and x minus 3. So parehas lamang yung dalawa nating denominator. So yun yung 2. At isang binomial or written in an algebraic expression. So, dito kita na agad natin what would be the LCD. I know, but let me show you how to get the LCM. So, x minus 3 and 2. X minus 3 is a binomial, so hindi natin ito pwedeng paghiwalayin na. Hindi ito x at hindi ito negative 3 lamang. Dapat siya ay x minus 3. Bawal paghiwalayin ang binomial. So, in this case, the LCM are x minus 3. Another x minus 3 quantity squared, another x minus 3 quantity cubed, and so on and so forth. Well, 2 is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on and so forth. Now, again, we cannot have their common multiples since ang isa ay number at ang isa ay written in an algebraic expression or in a variable. So here, we just need to multiply the 2 to find the LCD. So the LCD is equal to 2 times x minus 3. So that is our LCD. In order to simplify a rational equation, it has to be transformed into an equation without the denominator. So that is our goal or that is our target in simplifying rational equation. So again, rational equations are those equations having fractions. Okay? Now, so in order to simplify now, it has to be transformed first into an equation without the denominator. So, meaning to say, tatanggalin natin yung denominators. No? But before teaching you how to simplify a rational equation, let us recall first how to simplify similar fractions. So, if our given is 1/4 plus 3 over 4, when we say similar fractions, these are fractions having the same denominator or pares lang yung denominator niya. Just like this, 1/4 plus 3 over 4. Diba, in order to simplify this, kapag pares yung denominator, madali lamang. We just need to copy the common denominator, which is 4, and then perform the operation of our numerator. So, 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4 over 4. And then 4 over 4 is also equal to 1. So, the simplified form of 1/4 plus 3 over 4 is 1. Okay? So, that is for similar fractions. How about for the similar fractions? Let's have this example. 1/3 plus 3 over 4. So, here, these are the similar fractions. Why? Kasi different yung kanilang denominators, 3 and 4. In this case, yan, papasok dito yung concept na LCD, finding the LCD. Kailangan kasi pagparehasin natin yung ating numerator, or denominator rather. So, LCD ng 3 and 4, we have ang 3 na multiples ng 3 ay 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, so on and so forth. For our 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and so on and so forth. So, let us find the LCD. The LCD is, okay, we have to. So, in this case, in order to simplify these two fractions, okay, let us copy the LCD, 12. Now, 12, what will happen? How are we going to find the numerator? Okay, ganito po yan. 12 divided by the denominator and then multiplied by the numerator. Okay, again, LCD divided by the denominator, i-divide. After that, i-multiply kay numerator. So, here we have 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 1 is 4. Then, copy the operation plus, and then, we have second fraction tayo. 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 3 is equal to, yan, 3 times 3. Again, saan ang galing si 4? Ayun po, divide po, 12 divided by 3. We have 4. Then, i-multiply yung ating numerator. Then, saan ang galing si 3? 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then, i-multiply si numerator. Simplify natin. So, we have 4 times 1, we have 4. Plus, 3 times 3, we have 9. Then, 4 plus 9, we have 13. So, 13 over 12. Or, we can change it into mixed number. So, that will be 1 over 1 over 12. So, this is how we simplify fractions or rational expressions. Now, in order to simplify a rational equation, it has to be transformed into an equation without the denominator. So, wala dapat denominators para ma-simplify natin yung rational equation. Again, rational equation is an equation that involves rational expressions. Those rational expressions are those numbers that can be expressed into A over B, or in short, fraction. So, it has to be transformed into equation without the denominator. So, meaning to say, in order to simplify, tatanggalin natin si denominators. And this is made possible by using the least common denominators of all rational expressions in the equation containing such equations. Kaya po, nirecall natin how to find the LCD of an expression. Let us have this illustrative example. Number 1. Solve the rational equation x over 3 plus 1 over x is equal to 19 over 12 by transforming it into quadratic equation. From rational equation, ito transform natin into quadratic equation wherein there is no denominator. So, paano natin tatanggalin si denominator? Okay, this is how. First is, okay, of course, we have to copy the given. X over 3 plus 1 over x is equal to 19 over 12. Next is to find the LCD. The LCD between 3x and 12. Okay. So, 3 sa numbers tayo, 3 and 12. So, 3, multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Multiples of 12, we have 12, 24, 36, 14, so on and so forth. Which is the common multiple. Okay, very good. That is 12. So, therefore, the LCD between 3 and 12 is 12. And then, since meron tayo ditong algebraic expression, we just need to multiply it. So, the LCD is equal to, okay, very good. That is 12x. So, yung LCD, i-multiply natin to both sides of the equation. Okay? So, 12x i-multiply natin para maalis natin si denominator. So, what are we going to do? 12x divided by 3. Isa-isahin natin bawat term. So, 12x divided by 3, we have 4x. So, saan ang galing si 4x? Si 12x, dinivide ko po kay 3. Doon muna tayo sa isang, okay, sa isang term, kay x over 3. So, 12x divided by 3, ang 12 divided by 3 is 4. Tama ba? And then, so we have 4x. Ito, 12 divided by 3, we have 4. So, therefore, 4 times x is a 4x. Then, after ma-divide, anong gagawin? I-multiply natin si numerator. Si numerator natin ay si x. Now, we can proceed now to the second term. Dito na sa second term tayo. So, copy natin yung operation. And then, si 12x again, i-divide naman kay denominator ng second term. So, that will be 12x divided by what? Okay, very good. Divided by x. So, in this case, what happened? Okay, makakancel po natin si x. Ano ang natira? Okay, si 12. So, meaning 12x divided by x is 12 times the numerator, which is 1. Then, equals to, again, 12x divided by, ito si 12x divided by kay denominator, which is 12. What is 12x divided by 12? Okay, the answer is, makakancel natin to, ang natira ay si x. So, therefore, x times the numerator, which is 19. Next step is to simplify. So, 4x times x is 4x squared. Then, plus 12 times 1 is positive 12. X times 19 is equal to 19x. Now, since we have to transform it into quadratic equation, let us change it into standard form. So, that would become 4x squared minus 19x. Saan nanggaling si negative 19x? Ito po. Kailangan kasi maging ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So, si 19x, tinranspose to the other side. Kaya po naging negative 19x. So, plus 12 is equal to 0. Now, we already have our quadratic equation. And since we are looking for, the solution or for the roots of the quadratic equation, we have to solve it by applying the different methods in solving quadratic equation. So, it is up to you what method will you use. So, in this case, I will use factoring. In factoring, okay, so ganyan yon. So, ang first term, get the factors of 4x squared. So, we have 4x times x. The factors of 12 that will satisfy the middle term is 3 times 4. So, tama kaya to? So, we have, ito ay 3x. Tama? So, 3x. Magsasatisfy kaya siya sa middle term. And then, 4 times 4, 4x times 4, we have 16x. So, mangyayari ba na magiging negative 19x to? Yes po. That is if our operation is negative. And since negative times negative is positive, and negative, pag ito ay negative, tsaka ito ay negative, this will become negative 19x. So, therefore, nag-satisfy siya dito sa ating middle term. So, this is the correct factored form. 4x minus 3 times x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now, we can solve for the value of x, that is by, okay, so that is by solving each linear equation. So, we have 4x minus 3 is equal to 0, and another one is x minus 4 is equal to 0. So, 4x minus 3, so 4x is equal to, i-transpose natin si negative 3 sa other side, dito sa other side, so that will become 0 plus 3. And then, 4x is equal to, what is 0 plus 3? We have 3. Then, in order to find the value of x, we need to divide both sides by 4. Makakancel po natin si 4. Ang nangyari po ay x is equal to 3 over 4. So, this will be our x sub 1. How about the other one? X minus 4 is equal to 0. So, that will become x is equal to, transpose natin to sa other side. So, we have negative 4 will become positive 4. So 0 plus 4. And 0 plus 4 is equal to 4. So therefore, x of 2 is equal to 4. Now, in this case, the solution or the roots of the rational equation x over 3 plus 1 over x plus is equal to 19 over 12 or 3/4 and 4. Let us proceed with another example. Find the roots of x plus 8 over x minus 2 is equal to 1 plus 4x over x minus 2. So how will we simplify this, and how are we going to find the roots? So again, let us change it into quadratic equation. So papaano? Eliminate natin yung denominators. Papaano? Okay, so this is how. For our solution, we just need to copy first the given. Okay, so ito yung given natin. And then, let us find the LCD. What is the LCD? Okay, since iisa naman yung denominators, which is x minus 2. Ito, x minus 2 din. So, they are just the same. So, meaning the LCD is x minus 2. So, again, just like what we did in our previous example, we need to multiply both sides by the LCD. The LCD is x minus 2. So, x minus 2 times, ito po, kinopya, x plus 8 over x minus 2 is equal to, si 1 plus 4x over x minus 2 ay minultiply then by the LCD, which is x minus 2. Now, let us simplify. Diba ang x natin ay may 1? Ano, may 1 siya dito. So, x minus 2 divided by 1 is x minus 2 times x. So, we have x minus 2 times x. Okay? Next. Okay. So, x minus, ito po yan. Itong inuna, x minus 2 times x. And then, another one is, yan, x minus 2 times 8 over x minus 2. So, that is, okay, kopyahin lang natin si numerator and then, okay. So, bakit na nangyari? Bakit naging positive 8? Kasi po, x minus 2 divided by x minus 2 ay na-cancel po natin. So, kaya ang nangyari, 1. 1 times 8 is equal to 8. And then, proceed tayo dito sa second side of our equation. So, x minus 2 times 1, we have x minus 2 times 1. And then, 4x over x minus 2 times x minus 2. Ito na po yun. Again, 4x times x minus 2 times x minus 2. Since ito ay fraction, makakancel natin itong dalawa. Ang natira na lang ay si 4x. So, we have positive 4x. Now, let us simplify. X minus 2 times x, isang monomial at isang binomial. So, let us have the distributive property. X times x, x squared. X times negative 2, we have negative 2x. And then, copy that constant, positive 8, is equal to, again, numerate ulit, we have monomial and binomial. So, let us apply distributive property. X times 1, we have x. And then, x times negative 2, we have negative 2 plus 4x. So, here, okay, pwede na natin i-transform into standard form since wala naalis na yung ating denominators and ayan, para ma-simplify and ma-combine natin ang similar terms. So, x squared, kopyahin, then negative 2x, and then positive 8 is equal to, yan, inano muna natin. So, itong si x at saka si positive 4x ay similar terms. So, x plus 4x, we have 5x. Then, minus 2. Then, yan, i-transform na natin. So, we have x squared, negative 2x. Itong positive 5x, itabi na natin. So, magiging negative 5x. Si positive 8, okay, itabi naman natin si negative 2x. So, si negative 2. So, therefore, it became positive 2 is equal to 0. Now, simplify natin. Combining like terms, negative 2x minus 5x, we have negative 7x. And then the constant, positive 8 plus 2, we have positive 10 is equal to 0. So, therefore, the quadratic equation is equal to x squared minus 4x, minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. Now, let us factor it in order to solve for x. So again, I will use factoring. So we have x times x for the first term. For the last term, we have, ano ba ang factors ng 10? We have 5 times 2 and we also have 10 times 1. Alin kaya doon ang possible na maging negative 7x? Okay, very good. So that is 5 and 2. Since this is positive, the two numbers should have the same sign. So we have negative and negative. And kapag chinek naman natin, negative 5x is negative 5x. Right? Okay. And then, what about x times negative 2? We have negative 2x. At kapag pinag-add natin to, negative 5x at saka negative 2x, that will result to, since parehas siya ng sign, ina-add lang natin. 5 plus 2 is 7, and then copy the sign. So we have negative 7x, and that satisfies our middle term. So which is negative 7x. Now, therefore, our factored form is correct. Now, let us solve the two linear equations. So we have x minus 5 is equal to 0, and another one is x minus 2 is equal to 0. Pinaghiwalay lang natin yung two terms. So we have x minus 5 is equal to 0. That will become 0 plus 5. Bakit nag-0 plus 5? Si negative 5 po ay transpose sa other side. So we have negative naging positive. So 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. So that is our x sub 1. And then, x minus 2 is equal to 0. X equal to 0 plus 2. Tinranspose si negative 2 sa other sides. Kaya naging positive 2. 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. So, therefore, the roots ay 5 and 2. But, take note. Kailangan tingnan natin kung magsasatisfy talaga siya sa ating roots. Sa ating quadratic or quadratic equation or rational equations. Kasi sometimes our resulted values of x not satisfies our equation. So, tingnan natin. Let us check. So, when x sub 1 is equal to 5, we have, ayan, kinopya lang natin. Ito muna ang ating sinasubstitute. So, isubstitute natin si 5 sa bawat values ng x. So, that will become 5 plus 8 over 5 minus 2 is equal to 1 plus 4 times 5 over 5 minus 2. So, kapag sinimplify natin, ang 5 minus 2 magiging 3 equals 1. 4 times 5, what is, okay, very good, we have 20. 5 minus 2 is 3. Now, we have, since fraction to, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3 divided by 3 is 1 times 8. We have 8. It's equal to LCD na ito ay 3. So, 3 times 1, we have 3 plus 3 divided by 3, 1 times 20, we have 20. So, we have 15 plus 8 is 23 over 3. And 3 plus 20 is equal to 23 over 3. So, since pareha siya, meaning, ang x sub 1 natin is true. Okay? This is a true solution. Okay? This is a true solution. What about if our x sub 2 is 2? Substitute naman natin si x sub 2, ang value ni x sub 2 which is 2 sa bawat values ng x. So, that will become 2 plus 8 over 2 minus 2. Okay? So, simplify natin. 8 over 0 kasi 2 minus 2 is 0 plus, okay, 4 times 2 is 8. Then, 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. Now, 8 over 0. Can we simplify it? What is 8 divided by 0? Okay, that's correct. 8 divided by 0 or 8 over 0 is an undefined terms or a number which does not exist. Hindi po siya nag-exist. Okay? So, in this case, this is, okay, therefore, we can say that x is equal to 2. Itong value ng x which is 2 is an extraneous solution. Sabihin, nagpanggap lang siya. When we say extraneous solution, nagpanggap lang siya na solution ng ating rational equation. Pero, kapag chinek natin, it will not satisfy kasi, nagkakaroon tayo ng undefined terms or those numbers which does not exist. Ang 8 divided by 0 po ba talaga ay undefined? Yes po. Pero ang 0 divided by 8 is 0. 8 divided by 0 is undefined term. So therefore, isa lang yung root talaga natin, which is equal to 5. Okay? So let us now have a deeper understanding to problems conditions involving solving quadratic and rational equation. So let us try this given problem. Odette can finish washing a certain number of dishes in 15 minutes less than it takes Pam. If they work together, they can do the dishes in 10 minutes. Let us find out the minutes or the time Odette and Pam can do the dishes alone. Now, let us have a representation. Since sabi dyan sa ating given problem, si Odette daw can finish doing the dishes 15 minutes less than takes Pam. So, meaning, mas mababa ng 15 minutes kay Pam. Alam natin yung kay Odette na 15 minutes less than kay Pam. But, do we know Pam? Okay, hindi po. So, therefore, we can represent Pam or the time Pam can finish washing dishes alone as T. If ang time ni Pam ay T, therefore, kay Odette ay 15 minutes less than it takes Pam. So, meaning, 15 minutes less than T, or we can represent it as T minus 15. Now, since we all know that one whole work to be done is equal to 1, we can represent the 1 over T as part of work done by Pam in a minute, as well as 1 over T minus 15 ang part of work done by Odette in a minute. Or therefore, this is their rate. 1 over T kay Pam and 1 over T minus 15 ang part na kay Odette. And it also states in our problem that if they work together, they can do the dishes in 10 minutes. Pag nagsama silang dalawa, nagtulungan silang dalawa, they can do the dishes or they can finish washing the dishes in 10 minutes. So therefore, we can say that ang rate na yon ay 1 over 10 or it is a part of work done together by both girls in a minute. We already done with the representation. Let us have our equation. We can say that pag pinagsama natin ang part na work ni Dan at kay Odette, that will be equal to 1 over 10. And that is represented as 1 over T kay Pam plus 1 over T minus 15 kay Odette is equal to 1 over 10. And that is when they are together. Since we already have the equation, let us solve it. 1 over T plus 1 over T minus 15 is equal to 1 over 10. So this is our given, our formulated equation. Now, applying what we have learned in solving rational equation, let us find the LCD between 10 T minus 15 and T minus 15 and 10. And that is 10T times T minus 15 since magkakaiba sila. Isang monomial, isang binomial, at isang number or constant. So we have 10T times T minus 15. So that is our LCD. And again, the first step is multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD. So, i-multiply natin both sides by the LCD. So, that will become, 10T times T minus 15 times the given equation. Now, let us solve. So, isa-isahin natin. One term muna tayo. First term, 1 over T times 10T times T minus 15. Since T is in the denominator, we can divide it by 10T times T minus 15. So, kapag dinivide natin ito by T, meaning, makakancel natin si T. Tama? Kapag nakancel natin si T, therefore, ang natira na lang ay si, natira na lang ay si 10 at saka si T minus 15. Kasi, nakancel na ito. Okay? So therefore, we can multiply 10 times t minus 15 to the numerator, which is 1. Plus, next term tayo, second term, 1 over t minus 15 times 10t times t minus 15. So that is equal to, makakancel natin si t minus 15. So therefore, ang natira na lang ay si 10t. So 10t times the numerator, which is 1. Okay? Is equal to, okay, next third term tayo, 1 over 10, then 10 times t minus 15. We can cancel 10, so ang natira na lang ay t times t minus 15 times the numerator, which is 1. So we have times 1. Now let us simplify. In simplifying, we will apply the distributive property. So 10 times t, we have 10t. 10 times negative 15, we have negative 150. Times 1. Okay, may 1 pa tayo doon. Plus 10 times t, we have 10t. Times 1 equals t times t, we have t squared. T times negative 15, we have negative 15t. Then, i-multiply ulit natin by 1. Since ang mga number na i-multiply natin is 1, okay, padali na yan. So, we just need to copy. 10t times negative 150 times 1 is equal to 10t minus 150. 10t times 1 is equal to 10t. Is equal to t squared minus 15t times 1 is equal to t squared minus 15t. Okay? Now, since this is already a quadratic equation, we can transform it into standard form. So, that is 0 is equal to t squared. Dito ko inilagay si t squared kay right side para hindi na tayo mag-negative. Ano? Kasi kapag ito inilagay pa natin sa left side, magiging negative pa. So, we have t squared minus 15t. And then, lahat po na nasa left side ay ilagay natin sa right side. So, papalitan natin ng side. 10t, that becomes negative 10t. Then, isunod na natin si another positive 10t. So, negative 10t. Then, proceed with the constant, which will become positive 150. Now, combining like terms, ito, parehas sila. Negative 15t minus 10t is equal to negative 25t. Then, meron pa tayong negative 10t plus 150. Now, combine ulit natin. Meron pa tayong negative 25t minus 10t, which is negative 35t plus 150. So, we already have our quadratic equation, simplified quadratic equation. Now, next step is to, write the resulting quadratic, let us write the resulting linear equations, or that is by, so the next step is to factor it. So let us factor t squared minus 35t plus 150 is equal to 0. I will use factoring. So we have, so t squared, the factors are t and t, while 150 ang factors natin ay 30 and 5. So since ito ay positive, dapat ito ay negative. So negative 30t is negative 30t. T times negative 5 is negative 5t. And negative 30t tsaka negative 5t results to negative 35t. So meaning to say, we have a correct factored form. Now let us solve the two resulting linear equations. So t minus 30 equals 0. Another one is t minus 5 is equal to 0. Let us find the value of t. T is equal to 0 plus 30. T is equal to 30, and that is t sub 1. And then t is equal to 0 plus 5. So we have t is equal to 5. So t sub 1 is 30, t sub 2 is equal to 5. Let us now talk about your learning test number 2 on page 20. Translate the following verbal sentences to mathematical sentence, then express into quadratic equations in terms of x. So you have given there 5 items or 5 problems or word problems. You just need to transpose it, or you just need to transform it into mathematical sentence, and then after that, simplify it to make it a quadratic equation in terms of x. Ready? For number 1, The length of a wooden frame is 1 foot longer than its width, and its area is equal to 12 feet square. Now, I'm going to show you how are we going to rewrite it into mathematical sentence. First, of course, we need to have our representation. Since it is given that the length of a wooden frame is 1 foot longer than its width. Ang length daw ay 1 foot longer, mas mahaba ng 1 foot sa kanyang width. And its area is equal to 12 feet square. So therefore, we don't know what width is. So we can represent it as x. Let x be the width. If x is the width and it states that length is 1 foot longer, meaning we can represent the length as x plus 1. And then, since we all know that the length, or we can, since we all know that the wooden frame is in a rectangular shape, we can have its formula, which is area is equal to length times width. Now, let us just substitute the given to form an equation. The area is 12 feet. So 12 is equal to length is x times 1, x plus 1, and the width is x. Or we can say x times x plus 1. Now, let us simplify. So we have 12 is equal to, saan nanggaling si x squared? Okay, dito po. We just simplify it by distributive property. X times x, we have x squared. X times positive 1 is positive x. So we have x squared. 12 is equal to x squared plus x. Now, sabi dyan ay ilagay natin into standard form. So, that will be equal to x squared plus x. Positive 12 becomes negative 12. Kasi, tinranspose natin sa other side. So, we have 0 is equal to x squared plus x minus 12. Or, we can say that x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0 is the mathematical sentence or quadratic equation of our given verbal sentence. How about our problem number 2, or our given number 2? The length of the floor is 8 meters longer than its width, and there is 20 square meters. So again, it is in a rectangular shape, the floor. Ang given dyan ay, ang length daw ay 8 meters longer. Mas malaki naman na, or mas mahaba na 8 meters kay width. So, meaning to say, our width is, okay, correct. Our width is, okay, we can represent it as x. Let x be the width. If x is the width, so therefore the length is x plus 8. Kasi sabi dyan, 8 meters longer than its width. Now, again, let's form the equation. Area is equal to length times width. So, just like our problem number 1, or given number 1, ang area natin is 20 square meters. So, 20 is equal to x times x plus 8. Again, let us simplify. X times x, we have x squared. And x times positive 8, we have positive 8x. So, we have 20 is equal to x squared plus 8x. Now, let us transform into standard form. So, 0 is equal to x squared plus 8x minus 20. And therefore, our answer is x squared plus 8x minus 20 is equal to 0. Given number 3. The length of the plywood is 0.9 meters more than its width. And its area is 0.36 square meters. So here, ang length ng plywood ay mas mahaba daw ng 0.9 meters sa kanyang width. So therefore, ganun ulit. Our representation, our x will be the width, and the length will be x plus 0.9. And then for our equation, we have area is equal to length times width. Again, 0.36 is the area, so x times x plus 0.9. Now, applying distributive property, x times x, we have x squared. X times positive 0.9 is equal to 0.9x. So, transposition, x squared plus 0.9x minus 36. So, therefore, our answer is x squared plus 0.9x minus 0.36 is equal to 0. And this is the mathematical sentence of our given problem. Okay, did you get it? Great. In our number 4, The area of a rectangle whose length is 6 less than twice its width is 36. Now, how are we going to transform or form the quadratic equation? Ang area daw ng rectangle, area ay 36. And then, ang length daw is 6 less than twice its width. Given yung length, but the width is not. So, therefore, we can represent x as width. Ang length daw ay 6 less than twice its width. Mas bababa ng 6 sa twice the width. Sabihin, twice mo na natin sa width and then subtract 6. So, 2x minus 6 is equal sa length natin. Now, let us form the equation. Area is equal to length times width. So, therefore, area is 36 and then length ay x and 2x minus 6. So, we have x times 2x, we have 2x squared. And x times negative 6, we have negative 6. So, therefore, we have 2x squared minus 6x minus 36. That is our quadratic equation. Alright? And for the last number, the given is the width of a rectangular plot is 5 meters less than its length. And its area is 84 square meters. So, ang given ngayon ay width, which is, sabi dyan, ang width is 5 meters less than. Mas mababa ng 5 meters kay length. So, we don't know the length. So, therefore, we can represent it as x. Let x be the length. If x is the length, so therefore, the width is 5 meters less than. Mas mababa ng 5, so therefore, that is x minus 5. That is how we represent the width. And for the equation, we have area is equal to length times width. Area is 84, and then length is x, and width is x minus 5. X times x, we have x squared. X times negative 5, we have negative 5x. So, therefore, we have x squared minus 5x minus 84. That is our quadratic equation. So, this is your task. Your letter B in learning test number 2 on page 20, you need to solve for the value of x. The given rational equation is 1 over x plus 1 over x plus 5 is equal to 1 over 10. Please do it on your piece of paper by applying what we have learned in our previous lesson. On page 21, your learning task number 3, also solve for the following equations transformable to quadratic equation. For given number 1, we have 1 over x plus x over 2 is equal to 11 over 6. Number 2, 2 over x minus x plus 1 over 5 equals negative 4 over 5. And for number 3, we have 2 over x minus 3 plus x over 2 is equal to negative 1 over 2. Here, we can check whether you understand our lesson or not. So, good luck. Do it on your piece of paper. Here, you will apply what you have learned in our previous discussion. Good luck! In your learning task number 3 in letter B, you have given there 2 problems. So the first one is our word problems. The first one is a bus covers a distance of 240 kilometers at a uniform speed. Due to heavy rain, its speed gets reduced by 10 kilometers per hour, and as such, it takes 2 hours longer to cover the total distance. Find the original speed of the bus. So this is an example of a motion problem. Now, how do we solve this kind of problem? So let me show you how. For our representation, of course, the first thing we need is to have a representation. So you just need to understand the given problem, reread it as many as you can until you understand what is we are talking about. Of course, the first one is to find the representation, and in order of course, first is we have to find, or we have to do Of course, the first thing that we need to do is to have our representation. And for that, we need to understand what is our problems are all about. So it states that a bus covers a distance of 240 kilometers. But due to heavy rain, it reduced by 10 kilometer per hour yung speed or yung rate. Kaya, anong nangyari? It takes 2 hours longer. Sa halip na makarating siya doon sa original speed niya, anong nangyari? Due to heavy rain, nadagdagan ng 2 hours longer to cover the total distance, which is 240 kilometers. We are looking for the original speed of the bus. So, in order to have our representation, we all know that the distance is equal to rate times time. So, this is an example of a motion problem. Ang distance natin or distance problem. Distance is equal to rate times time. Laging tatandaan. So, let us construct a table. From the original speed and the new speed natin, after reducing it due to heavy rain, then distance is equal to rate times time. Ang original speed natin sa distance natin ay 240 kilometers. But of course, sa new speed natin, ganun din naman. Iisa lang naman yung distance na ating kinover dito. 240 kilometers mula dun sa kanilang starting point. Next is, let us find the rate. It states that given ba yung rate natin, given ba yung ating original speed, kasi sabi dito, it speeds due to heavy rain, yung new speed na natin get reduced by 10 kilometers, nabawasan ng 10 kilometers. So therefore, we can say that the rate is equal to x. So yung new speed natin, nabawasan siya ng 10. So x minus 10. And then for the time, it takes 2 hours longer to cover the total distance. Nadagdagan ng 2 hours yung after ma-reduce nung speed natin. So, how are we going to find the time? So, if ang distance natin is equal to rate times time, so therefore, our time will be equal to, distance over rate. Tama ba? Yes po. Mangyayari dyan, to find the time, kasi walang sinabi eh. To find the time, it is equal to distance divided by the rate. So, ibig sabihin, i-divide natin si 240 by the rate, which is x. So, ang time natin is 240 over x. And it's a new speed natin. From the original time na 240x, nadagdagan siya ng 2. Nag-plus 2 siya. Why? Kasi sabi dyan, it takes 2 hours longer to cover the total distance. Kaya po, from the original time, nadagdagan or humaba pa ng 2 hours. No, kasi nag-reduce nabawasan yung rate natin, bumagal. Now, let us have our equation. To form an equation, of course, we have to rely on our problem. So, here, we can say that distance is equal to rate times time ng ating new speed na tayo. So, 240 is equal to x minus 10 times 240 over x plus 2. That is, distance is equal to rate times time. Doon tayo magbabase sa ating reduced speed. 240 is equal to x minus 10 times 240 over x plus 2. This is the time, this is the rate, and this is the distance. That is our formed equation. Now, so this time, from our formed equation, which is 240 equals x minus 10 times 240 over x plus 2, let us now have our solution. Okay, let us solve for the x. How? Of course, we have two binomials here. Isang x minus 10 at isang 240 at saka x. So, the first thing that we need to do is to perform FOIL method. So, ito yan. Okay, so 240 is equal to x times 240x pagtatimesen. And then, next is, okay, so ito. So, x times positive 2. Then, the inner terms, negative 10 times 240 over x. And lastly, we have the last term, which is 10 times, negative 10 times positive 2. Let's simplify natin. So, 240 is equal to x times 240 times over x. Makakancel si x. So, nangyari ay 240. Plus 2 times x, we have 2x. Minus 10 times, okay, so 10 times 240, that is 2,400 over x. And 10 times 2, we have negative 20. Next is, okay, 240 minus 20, that is, okay, that is 2x, okay, 2x minus 2,400x plus 220. So, inilipat na natin yung constant term ay inilagay na natin sa dulo. Ano? So, 240 minus 20 is 220. Now, that is equal to, i-transform natin into standard forms. 240 ay ilipat sa other side. So, magiging negative yan. So, 2x minus 1,400 over x plus 220 minus 240. Now, simplifying, we have, okay, positive 220 minus 240 is negative 20. So, therefore, we have 2x minus 2,400 over x minus 20. So, what are we going to do? Kailangan maalis natin yung denominator, which is x. So, therefore, let us multiply them by the LCD. The LCD is x. If the LCD is x, so therefore, 2x times x, what do we have? Okay, 2x times x is equal to, yan, 2x times x, we have 2x squared. Then, 2,400 over x times x, makakancel natin si x, so 2,400 na lang. And then, negative 20 times x, we have negative 20x. So, therefore, we have 0 is equal to 2x squared minus 2,400 minus 20x. Okay, so ilagay natin ngayon siya sa, ayan, so gawin natin, ilipat lang natin, pagpalitin lang natin ito, si constant tsaka si linear term. So, 2x squared minus 20x minus 2,400. But, if you notice, all of the terms are divisible by 2. So, pwede natin siyang i-reduce. Divide natin by 2 parehas. So, 0 is equal to 2x squared divided by 2 is equal to x squared. Negative 20x divided by 2 is negative 10x. And negative 2,400 divided by 2 is negative 1,200. So, ito na po yung ating quadratic equation. Now, kapag mayroon na tayong quadratic equation or solve for x, we need to, okay, solve it. Solve that given quadratic equation. Now, I will use factoring. Okay, let us use factoring. So, the factors of x are x times x, and the factors of 1,200 are 40 and 30. That will, okay, so we have negative and positive. So, by the way, this is 10. Okay, this is 10. So, x squared minus 10x minus 1,200 is equal to 0. So, okay, that will satisfy our middle term. Now, let us form two linear equations. So, x minus 40 equals 0 and x plus 30 is equal to 0. So, x is equal to 0 plus 40 and x is equal to 40. So, that is our x of 1. X equals to 0 minus 30, transposition. So, that is x is equal to negative 30. Now, since we are looking for the original speed of the bus and wala naman tayong negative na speed, so we can cancel it or reject the value of x sub 2. So, we can say that x is equal to 40. Now, going back or answering what is being asked, find the original speed of the bus. Let's go back to our problem or our table. Okay, so this is the rate of the original. Yun ang tinatanong original speed of the bus. That is x. Okay, since the rate is x, so therefore, we can say that x is equal to 40. The rate of the original bus is equal to 40. At nung na-reduce siya ng 10 km per hour, naging 13 na lang yung rate niya. So therefore, answer is the original speed of the bus is 40 kilometers per hour. This time, let us discuss our second problem. The difference of a number and its reciprocal is 15 over 4. Find the number. So we are looking for the number. Let us first have our representation, but of course, this is an example of a number problem. So, how do we represent it? Difference of a number. When you say difference, it is subtraction. So, difference of a number. Do we know that number? Okay, we don't know that number, and of course we are also looking for that number. So let us represent it as x. Let x be the number. If x is the number, therefore its reciprocal daw is the difference of a number and its reciprocal. O, do you know the reciprocal? Okay, ang reciprocal po ay okay, so that's correct. Pagbabalik na rin lang natin or opposite lang ng ating numerator at denominator. So, if our given is 1/2, then therefore the reciprocal is 2 over 1. And then, kung ang given natin ay 3/4, therefore 3 over 4, therefore the reciprocal is 4 over 3. Ganun lamang. We just need to interchange the numerator and the denominator. But this is the reciprocal. 3 over 4, the reciprocal is 4 over 3. But how about 2? What about 2? What is the reciprocal of 2? Okay, so the reciprocal of 2 is 1 over 2. Since we have 1 as the denominator of the whole number. Okay? Now, if our number is x, so therefore its reciprocal is equal to 1 over x. Okay? 1 over x is the reciprocal of the number. So let us form an equation. Of course, when we form the equation, we must refer to the given condition in the given problem. The difference of a number and its reciprocal. Pag daw pinag-minus yung number and its reciprocal, that will be equal to 15 over 4. So that's it. So, in our equation, we can represent or form the equation by x minus 1 over x is equal to 15 over 4. So, we have formed a rational equation. So, x minus 1 over x is equal to 15 over 4. So, solving it, we have to multiply it by, by our LCD. What is the LCD between x and 4? Okay, we have 4x. So, therefore, x times 4x minus 1 over x times 4x. 4x divided by x. Okay, we have 4. Kasi makakancel si x. Again, 4x divided by x is 4. 4 times 1. Okay? It's equal to 15 over 4 times 4x. Now, simplify natin. X times 4x is, we have 4x squared minus, okay, makakancel natin si x. So, natira na lang ay si 4. 4 times 1. So, we have 4. Then, 15 over 4 times 4x, makakancel natin si 4. Ang natira ay si x. So, we have 15 times x is 15x. Now, let us have a quadratic equation in standard form. We can transpose 15x to this side. So, we have 4x squared minus 15x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now, since we already have the quadratic equation, we can solve for the x. In that case, we will use factoring method. So, 4x, the factored form of 4x squares, or the factors of 4x squares are 4x times x. And the factors of negative 4 are 4 times 1. So, nag-result ba siya sa positive and negative to, since negative yung sign natin dito. So, this will be negative x. This is x. And then, 4x times negative 4, we have negative 16x. Okay? Okay. So, yan, kapag inad natin or minus natin, that will result to negative 15s. Okay, so tama yung ating factored 4. Now, let us form two resulting equations or linear equations. So, 4x plus 1 equals 0. And the other one is x minus 4 equals 0. So, let's have first 4x minus 1. 4x is equal to 0 minus 1. Tinranspose po natin si positive 1 doon sa left side, right side. So, 4x is equal to 0 minus 1. And 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And for us to solve for the value of x, we will divide both sides by 4. So, makakancel natin si 4. We have came up with x is equal to negative 1. So, that is our x of 1. Now, x minus 4 is equal to 0. We have 0 plus 4. Transpose natin in negative 4 sa other side. So, 0 plus 4, that is equal to positive 4. And since we have two values, negative 1, 4, tsaka si 4. So, therefore, that is our x of 1 and x of 2. That is the number. So, of course, since this is a problem solving, we have to indicate the final answer. So, the numbers are 4 and negative 1/4. For your task, on your learning task number 4 on page 21, you need to solve the following problem on a clean sheet of paper. Just do item number 1 and item number 3. Item number 1 states that the width of a bedroom floor is 5 meters less than its length, and its area is 84 square meters. Find its dimensions. And for our second problem, item number 3, a picture frame has its length 8 cm longer than its width. It has an inner 1 cm boundary such that a maximum of 660 square centimeters picture may fit into it. Find the dimensions of this frame. So, solve it and understand and analyze each problem. If you need to draw an illustration, you may do it. It will help us understand more what is the problems all about. Okay? Just focus on the given conditions on each problem, and you will be able to solve it. Of course, by applying what you have learned in solving rational and quadratic equations. So, good luck!
So thank you so much, my dear students, for being with me in this session. I hope you learned a lot. Again, this is me, your mom, Shei, your guide in learning Mathematics 9 during the modular distance learning. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.